Look at her.
Yes.
And Shannel is here. She's looking. Look at her.
Bedspread and all.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Look at Her, the Hey Qween After Show, where our super celebrity guest looks at some of the queens she's played with, slayed with, or even laid with, and spills a little tea. More scandalo! Or throws a little shade, if she has to, or just tells us something that we don't know. Today's guest is the iconic and legendary Shannel! You said in the opening, you said bedspread couture.
Yes, baby.
Sick. Honey, the bedspread could never.
Oh, it's warm though. There's a lot of bedspread.
Yes, it is.
Got a lot of ruffles, a lot of poof going on.
It's still warm here in LA
Well, it's the bedspread
currently.
and the dust ruffle, obviously, so it's, yeah.
All right, Shannel, you have a deep history with a lot of queens. So today we're gonna have you spill a little tea or tell us some facts that we might not know about these close friends of yours.
Okay.
All right, are you ready?
I hope so.
Okay, let us begin. Look at her. All right, Chad Michaels.
He's just a genius. I never had a drag mother, but if anybody ever really looked after me and kind of helped pave the way for me and really got me together, it was Chad Michaels. I always admired his artistry, his makeup artistry, the fact that he does everything from the hair down, the music, you name it, does it all. He's a perfectionist. And he'll tell you he's a perfectionist, but I love that about him.
What's a fun memory from when you guys were doing All Stars 1 together?
It was actually on the very last episode, and we were standing backstage, and he had on a pair of boots. And he was about in tears because his feet were cramping up and hurting him and burning so bad. And I remember I kind of grabbed him and shook him, and I'm like, you need to just fucking deal with it. You're gonna win this show, just fucking deal with it. And it was kind of that moment for me that was like, snap out of it, you know? It was one of those Cher moments, so yeah. And he did, because when he walked back on stage, it was like nothing had ever even happened.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, you seemed like that you kind of had a good time on All Stars, though
I did.
It's much maligned by a lot of the people that did it.
Right. I did. I actually, of the entire season, I enjoyed the going out on Hollywood Boulevard and having, to force people to do things for you. That was actually the most fun for me. Which I thought in the moment when they had announced what that challenge was gonna be, I thought, oh my God, I can never do this. But you went on Hollywood Boulevard and you had this little square space to work in, and you could not go above and beyond that square, and you had a list of things to do. And so every person that walked down that street, you had to convince them to do it for you. And I did it, and I did it really well, and I thought, you better work, bitch. Better work.
Love it. Okay, look at her. Coco Montrese.
Coco Montrese, she actually, her and I met in Florida years ago at Disney World. And we became friends, and obviously she had not been on Drag Race at that point. And now we work together doing 8 shows a week at the Treasure Island in our brunch show. And Coco is also a Cancer. In fact, we're 1 day apart.
Wow.
Not in age.
When's your birthday?
July 3rd.
Wow.
Yeah, so we as Cancers, we really understand the emotional side of how we work. But it's interesting because you can also really clash. So not that we clash, but we can butt heads with each other. I mean, you got Coco Shannel. Bam, right there.
Yeah.
But she's an amazing entertainer. She has incredible attention to detail, and when she gets on stage, she's a powerhouse. I mean, if you've never seen her turn it as Janet Jackson or Tina Turner,
yeah.
She goes out there and she wears the party out.
She does it. Now, did you watch her on when it was her season? Or were you up to date on Drag Race? Do you still watch?
Yes. In fact, we were at a nightclub called Crave, which is no longer there.
Right.
And I happened to be there as a boy one night, and Coco happened to be there. And one of the old, not directors, but casting people of the show happened to be there that night in Las Vegas. And I remember saying to that person, you really need to put Coco Montrese on this show. And so I introduced them, and it kind of started to help to build some sort of a relationship right there between them, and she got on the show. So I was really happy that she did, because she deserved it.
Yeah.
She needed to get on the show. So,
And she gave good TV.
She sure did.
I'm not joking, bitch. Oh, at all.
At all, at all. And I still love Cheetos to this day. Love them.
Okay, look at her. Derrick Barry.
XXX.
Right. Now, we discovered when Derrick Barry came on our show that y'all had dated, and I did not know about that.
It's very interesting, and it was very many years ago. He had actually just moved to Las Vegas, and he'd only ever been in relationships with girls.
Wow.
And we met actually after he had got hired as the first Britney for an evening at La Cage at the Riviera. And we kind of just developed a friendship, and then it kind of just blossomed from there. So I was actually the first male relationship that he had ever been in. And we dated for probably a good 6 months at least. And he had an apartment at the time, obviously in Vegas, and I love interior design. So I was over there all the time, and his walls were really blank and boring. So I went and I painted his apartment for him. Actually.
Wow.
I did. I painted his apartment for him.
A lot of firsts for you and Derrick.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Any thoughts on her current situation in a throuple?
You know, it's interesting because Nick San Pedro, amazing artist, incredible guy, and if he was to be with anybody that is truly so above and beyond supportive, Nick is that. And of course, Nebraska, who has really, I mean, she's really taken off in this drag world as well. And interestingly, because Nebraska actually used to work at Piranha nightclub and was not about drag at all. And then the three of them ended up together, and now he's doing drag. It's like, wait a minute, what's going on? But you know, they're a really great power couple. They really support each other, they love each other, and they're all artists. And who better to be with somebody than another artist?
Agreed.
Yeah.
All right, look, Rebecca Glasscock.
I get asked often about Rebecca Glasscock and the issues and the drama that we had. And looking back on it now, it's so silly and it's so stupid. In that moment, it was so profound to me.
Right.
And I thought, you know, why is this queen being revered the way that she is? And why do they love her so much? I really don't care at the end of the day. I had the opportunity to see her for the very first time in years when we did the reunion.
Right.
We all had to show up in gold. And we keyed and cut up like we had been friends for years. And it was kind of nice to actually see her in drag again, because I think she kind of put drag to the wayside, and you know, she became a makeup artist, and she was working at I think it's a department store or something like that in New York, living her life, and she really wasn't doing drag anymore. And over the years, I noticed that her personality had become a lot more humble as well.
Oh yeah, I bet.
A lot more humble. So you know what? Amen to her. We had our moment. It was what it was. We're not trying to be besties.
Right.
Don't really care. Wish you all the luck. Get your life, boo.
Nothing like drama you had for 2 weeks to 11 years ago.
Truly.
It's like,
I'm not going to live the rest of my life giving a shit about it.
Well said. Everybody give it up for Shannel. Thanks to everyone. Thanks to Lady Red, Randy Boo, and of course, Shannel.
Thank you.
And thank you all, my little gay babies. We'll see you next time on Look at Her. Hit it! Oh, yes, work it, mama.
This way you throw the dust level into action right
Bye, everybody. We'll see you next time, sweetie. Get out of here.